Hi my friends, I'm back with another mini tutorial. This tutorial is about painting a simple landscape in cold wax and oils. With this mini tutorial I want to show you the importance of warm and cool colors, because that is what gives depth in your landscape paintings. So warm colors come forward and cool colors recede. Warm colors are reds and yellows, for example, and cool colors are greens and blues. And you can even make it more complicated, because even within the red you have a cooler red and a warm red. The cooler red pulls towards the blue, and a warmer red is more with yellow in it, so more towards the orange. For this tutorial that goes a bit too far, but if you want to really understand color temperature and color properties, check out the Color Mixing Bootcamp on my website. So I started out with a reference picture, but just like with my portrait paintings, it's only for inspiration. In the end, it never looks like the reference at all. I also used different colors than the typical blue sky and the green grass, because I don't want it to be a classic landscape. And this is actually a great way to learn. It shows that values and color temperature are more important than the local color itself. It's also very hard and sometimes a struggle with your mind, because we're so used to paint a sky blue and the trees green. And each time I mix, I add a little cold wax medium into my oils. For the sky, I mixed a red with a titanium white. Titanium white always cools down the color a little bit, even if you start with a warm red. I then added a bit of ultramarine to cool down the mix even more, and that's what I used for the mountains. So, like I said, dull colors recede and warm and saturated colors come forward. So when you want distance, cooler, lighter and more grayed out. When you want something to come forward, warmer, richer and often a bit more contrast. If you find your mix too red because it's attracting your attention and it's not creating a soft, faraway red, you can mix a bit of green in your mix, because green is the complementary color of red, and if you mix two complementary colors, you will gray down your mix, and that's perfect for the mountains that are far away. I'm also keeping the background edges a bit softer, because sharp details tend to come forward. So soften the edges in the distance, and more detailed and hard edges in the foreground. Now for the foreground, I'm putting a very warm red in contrast to the cooler reds in the background. And to make this red, which is a cadmium medium red, even warmer, I mix in a Indian yellow, which makes it almost orange and really hot. And the same idea for the greens, warm greens with more yellow in the foreground and cooler, more bluish greens in the background. And really, I just, like I always say, play and experiment. It's just paint and paper. Even if you don't like it, or you think parts are too dark or too warm, just scrape it off and go over it, or let it dry and go over it. It creates beautiful textures. That's why I love the cold wax, because it's very forgiving and you can push it around so much. Like you see, I'm just playing around with shapes and colors. Some darks here. Also quite warm. There's quite a lot of red in it. So that works well in the foreground. So I'm just continuing to build up my landscape, and you can see, especially in the reds, you can see the difference between the red in the foreground, the red in the middle ground, which is a bit grayed down, and then the red in the background and in the sky. And I'm adding a bit of blue, I don't know, as if it's some water, inspired by the reference picture. And and linking it to the mountains where there's some blue too. When I use a palette knife, you can see I like to keep it fairly flat against the surface. Of course, you can change the angle of the palette knife if you want more texture or stronger marks. And again, it's all about exploring what feels right for you. So be sure to cover everything up. Don't let the paper shine through. That would be nice if we had done an underlayer in gold, for example. So this is a good lesson in color mixing, keeping your colors warm or cool. Some dark in the foreground to make it come forward even more. And then I think it needs something else. Some texture maybe. Another way to create perspective is texture. I'm adding more texture in the foreground because texture always also comes forward. Here I press in some paper into the cold wax and oil mix and it gives beautiful lines. I love this because it adds instant interest without having to paint the details. And I don't want it to be too detailed. Like I said, I usually do a contrasting underlayer first, often a dark one. So then when I create texture, that color shines through and you get that layered look. I'm using my palette knife to create some more textures. You can use palette knife, you can use anything to print in your cold wax painting. Just look around your house, you will find lots and lots of fun stuff. Bubble wrap, even with a fork or something, you can just create some fun textures. So even on paper, you can do several layers first before you attack the subject. I love to start with a dark layer or a very bright layer with Indian yellow, or what I really love and often do is start with an acrylic layer in gold. I continue to fiddle. I'm not sure if I make it better or worse. Keep your touch light because it's getting quite wet now and I don't want to lose the textures we created. I'm just continuing to fiddle, scribble, mixing. And then I'm going to let it dry. It often dries in one night. I usually can start the next day. It depends on the thickness of the layer and it depends also on the paint and on the humidity of your studio. So I'm scribbling a little bit and now I've let it set up. I added some darks in the foreground and create some more textures with my bowl scraper. Not sure about the darks I added in the middle ground, but I can always scrape them off. I feel that it's getting a bit overworked, but it's just a practice piece. And now that parts of it are dry, we can use oil pastels or Neocolor tools. I love to use Neocolor tools, but you have to use them on a dry background. If not, you will dig into the paint. So I'm just using my oil pastels, Sennelier oil pastels, on the dry parts of this painting. The oil pastels give you these the final details. You can just scribble with them, put in some lines. Kind of like them. My favorite art supplies are Neocolor tools. I really hope that you like this mini tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. I will be very grateful because it will grow my YouTube channel. There are more videos coming soon. Let me know if there's a subject that you want to see covered, because I love to make videos and I love to teach you how to paint in cold wax and oils or in acrylics and power wax. But I would also love to know what subjects you prefer. And don't forget to check out the Color Mixing Bootcamp. The link is in the comments. And if you want to get better at color mixing, that's really the best place to start. See you in the next video. Bye for now.